Good evening, everybody. Today we have gathered here for a very special fireside chat between two amazing speakers, one representing the malls and one representing the airport malls. Like, could it be any more immersive? So beginning with you, Ankit. Elan Group has established itself as a premium retail and real estate developer over the years. What strategies is Elan adopting to integrate experiential retail?
Thanks, Aritra. I tell you, malls today are transforming immensely from giving just a mundane trip into a store to creating a unique customer experience. We at Elan as a strategy are completely centered towards creating a customer unique experience, but with a pinch of emotional connection. Because we feel that emotional connection is something which brings all the customers back to the centers. I believe that it's that last memory which the customer takes back, which brings the customers back time and again. So we host several events during the weekends. We just celebrated a World Emoji Day, and we had installed life-size emojis across the centers, which was immensely praised by our customers. We had done this for quite a while, for not even a day, but for a week we did this. Likewise, we did on Independence Day. We had a featured replica of India Gate, which was again loved by our customers. We keep hosting such events. We do live shows, we do live fire shows. We call stand-up comedians to the portals. We do some art activities. Idea is to cater all the age groups so that we have something for everyone.
Perfect. And what about you, Amit? Osprey is known to be the traveler's retail hub. So what is it that makes it the absolute destination for a retail traveler?
So thank you, Aritra, for this, having me here, and good afternoon to everyone. So basically, I represent Osprey, which is part of the Adani duty-free ecosystem. And we operate about 8 airports in India. So that just shows we handle a traffic about 20 million odd packs annually. So 1 out of every 4 flyer is going through one of our airports at the duty-free store. So now everyone thinks about duty-free, matlab, daru kitne mein milegi. But it's beyond your Johnny Walker Black Label. And unlike a mall or a retail, people are not going to fly just because there's a great deal happening at the airport. It's more of an impulse purchase at the duty-free store. So we really have to hook our passengers. So what we started was amazing because in our duty-free store, 75% of the business happens at the arrival and 25% happens at the departure. So our aim was to increase people to stop at the departure store and buy more with us. So to increase our departure penetration from 25%. So how did we do that? We started a project called Project Speed Breakers. So what was Speed Breakers was, when you are flying, you're really nervous, you're anxious, to put them at ease. We had magicians, we had jugglers, we have someone playing the meditation handpan, we had caricature guys. We had a DJ from Don Julio playing a DJ set in departure, which is not heard of in India in any of the duty-free stores. So that put the consumer a lot of ease, and then we engaged, our floor staff engaged with them, and we shopped. The second model that we did was Mumbai is known with Bollywood, right? So we always do great collaboration with Bollywood, like we did with Ajay Devgan, we did with Sunny Deol. We had Shah Rukh Khan coming and promoting Donkey. We had Anil Kapoor. We have Kartik Aaryan doing the Chandu Champion and now Bhool Bhulaiyaa 3. And what this collaboration entailed was that people who shopped with us at a duty-free store stood a chance to win either a movie ticket, movie merchandise, or a chance to meet the star cast of the movie. So that created a great feel-good experience for our consumer. And last but not the least, we played a lot around with our concept stores. So it's not only about alcohol, it's not only about liquor. We realize that the Indian consumer and the flyer are interested in electronics, they're interested in high-end sunglasses, they are interested in watches. Even pre-owned Rolexes are something which is really sought after. So we created separate these niche stores for our consumers to engage with them. So these are a lot of things that we did. And we increased our departure business from 25% to 33%. So on a PAX growth of 23%, our sales overall grew by 44%. So that was unheard of. So these are some of the things that we did. Thanks.
That is actually amazing. But you just talked about collaboration. You talked about collaboration about getting experiential consumers. So what about the collaborations that your brand does with other brands? So how is it that works in getting in customers to be more
So I think this you can break it up into multiple layers. One is the brand association that we do with the cosmetics, the liquor, and the alcobev guys. So like I just said that we tied up with Don Julio 1942, which played a DJ set at our store. We had a concept called Artberg. Artberg is a very famous malt whiskey. So we had a Artberg circus festival theme at our store. So people had a spin the wheel, lucky draw contest, giveaways. This is what we did with our brands. But we went away before that. So we wanted to be in touch with the consumers on every stage of the journey. So we had great collaboration with bank partners, network providers like Visa, Access, Citi. And what we did is we had these crazy concept called the Shop and Win Carnival. So we came out of COVID very strongly by giving guys BMW X1, Audi A6, a BYD Atto 3, 1 kg gold. And to top it all, or the icing on the cake was every week our flyers stood a chance to win 5 lakh worth of duty-free vouchers, which he or she could burn at the duty-free store. So these are some of the disruptive things that no one has done in duty-free that we aspire to do that. So, and there is a beautiful concept that we started, which is called duty-free is now free. So what that means is we cannot compete. I mean, we are constantly competed with the Changi, Dubai duty-free, Bangkok, King Power. So we cannot compete with them every time on price level. So what we did is, look, you buy from us and we will gratify you with brand value partnerships in the domestic market. So say you shop with us worth 20,000, you get value from brands in the domestic market worth 50,000, effectively making your duty-free purchase free. So like we had partnership with Yatra, Ixigo, Myntra, Prime Time, Amazon, Pepperfry, Salt, the Beer Cafe. So these are the interesting collaboration and brand associations that we've done. And we started this in 2017 and people now are kind of replicating this whole concept now.
perfect? And what about you, Ankit? What are some of the brand collaborations that you would vouch
So
for?
you know, Aritra, a very classic example which you recently did was first of its kind screening collaboration we did with NY Cinemas, which is operational at one of our centers called Elan Epic. So there we had invited over 900 police officers across Gurgaon, along with their families for the screening of Singham again. You know, so that was not only an event which was in a collaboration, but it was also a highlighting of the service towards the nation which the police officers does for us. One more instance I would want to quote is earlier this year we did a big launch of an FEC, which is a family entertainment center called Zoraco. So we did a collaboration with them and we had invited Mr. Arbaz Khan from Bollywood industry. And it sort of become an event of the day and it became a talk of the town for almost a month because we had a big blast. It was a massive FEC which was opened for the first time as a brand in Gurgaon. So that's another. We just did a small event with Subway. So Subway had opened their 850th store in India. And we had invited their global CEO who came for the first time to India to inaugurate any Subway store. So it was a kind of event wherein we did a lot of traditional activities in order to showcase him that this is how India celebrates, you know, when they are happy, this is the way they celebrate the happiness. So it does not only help the brand and the developer, it also helps the entire community to grow up and come forward.
Talking about the business perspective of the same, how would you say that these collaborations aid your business growth as well as the brands that are associating with you?
So, you know, India is a country wherein everyone wants to explore something new each day. You know, people are looking for a freshness. They want to go out. They want to explore. So whenever we do such explodes, when we do a lot of events, we touch the emotions of the customers. They are so happy to come across and, you know, be a part of this. We do see people coming to the places and, you know, they do a lot of reels, they do some social media activations just to showcase that, okay, on this day or maybe on this week we were here and, you know, this was the event which was happening. So one, it helps the customer footfall to the center. Second, from brand perspective, you know, it becomes that this was the landmark store which they have opened. And it was not only the management of Subway which was a part of it, but it was also part of the Everstone as a group. So it was a whole and soul, a big event, So that's how we feel that it helps both the parties.
And what about Osprey? How would you say that the brand collaboration helps your business as well as the brand's businesses?
So, I look at it the other way. I think the brands want to collaborate with us because we are the gateway. The first stepping point to the country is through our stores in India. And you're getting in touch with a consumer who spends above $100 and $110 on an average ticket size. So we are a great connect between the brand and the end user for them. Having said that, we pride ourselves because the brands always come up with great innovative packaging and products for the duty free, which is different from the domestic market. For example, there are a lot of limited editions that Alcobev industry carries. So just recently, we sold a Baumor 1965 bottle, which is a 52-year-old edition. There are only 175 bottles in the whole world, and we had one of them. And we had a regular walk-in customer from Singapore, and he swipes his cards and buys it off $50,000. So that is the propensity for the consumer to spend. I mean, they have the capacity. Then we do a lot of limited editions with Royal Salute. So there are a lot of limited editions that we pride upon sell that we can do in the duty free, which the brand supports that, which cannot happen in the domestic. And of course, in Alcobev, you get 750 ml outside, whereas you get 1 liter in the duty free store. So that is a great differentiator by itself. And we do a lot of new launches with the brands. For example, Kylie Cosmetics, the first store in Asia, I dare say, was in at the duty free store in Mumbai. And we didn't even have to play any of the top influencers because all of them were happy getting one travel pack of Kylie Cosmetics with them. And, the brand speaks for itself. We were the first to launch the Victoria Secret store as a standalone store in India. And of course, we pride upon ourselves doing tasting sessions in liquor, which is very difficult in the duty-free environment. In domestic, yes, we have other players who can do it, but to get licenses and be able to give the tasting of the liquid to our flyers, that was a great achievement for us. So this is how we leverage.
Perfect. And this question is for both of you. I just wanted to know that what exactly is it that you look for in brands or to collaborate? Like, what is it that you look for to collaborate in general?
I feel that there are multiple layers for the collaboration. We do collaborations at several phases of a brand. The first phase starts from the launch of the store. We do a lot of marketing activities. We collaborate together to do something big. So the brand's marketing team and our marketing team collaborate together and they do something big. Second layer of the collaboration is when they have some, as you rightly mentioned, that they have some exclusive product launches. Or maybe a new product launches. So we insist the brands to have the product launches starting from the stores which are present with Elan malls. So that this will be a differentiating factor for people to come across and browse that limited editions we do. The third layer is that we do a lot of pop-ups in and around, with the brands, which gives a different experience to the customers. It just not only gives an info about the store presence in the mall, but it also gives a kind of a personal experience and that connection to the customer. So I think these are the ways we collaborate with them and we help them with the business.
So I think I pretty much mentioned the brand. What we look out from the brands is newness, like first of its kind launches, not in the domestic, but with our store. We look at a lot of limited editions, whether it's in the Alcobev sector or in skincare and perfumes and fragrances. Like for example, in sunglasses, we launched brands like Wawa, Dita, Off-White, moving on from Ray-Bans. We started collaborating with brands like Tumi to have their own standalone store with us for luggages and travel packs. So these are the kind of things. Then we look at a lot of packaging done locally. So Johnny Walker Diageo did a limited edition with the Gateway of India for Mumbai specifically. So, and then we look at personalized gifting from the brands because it's all about personalization now. And someone on the other panel before us spoke about Gen Z and late millennials. So they love the experience part of it and, the personalization part of it. So these are some of the things that we look forward to.
Perfect. Now let's move on to technology and innovation. So I want to know what role does technology and innovation play first in malls, like elevating consumer experience?
So, Atra, there are two parts to the answer. So, one is the designing perspective, and second is the technology perspective. So, we also play towards a lot of, when you talk about experience, it directly relates to the designing of the projects. Elan malls are designed not only to give a shopping experience, but it is much beyond just an offer for a shopping. We incorporate a lot of outdoor elements. We have stunning water bodies in and around the center. Post-pandemic, I think there has been a huge shift in the consumer behavior. So they want to go out, they want to spend time with their families, friends, peer groups, relatives. So we have installed a lot of socializing spaces we have carved out in and around the center so that people can really spend some good memories there out. We have, just to quote an example, we have a huge water body as a part of any commercial project ever seen in one of the centers called Epic. It's a 40,000 square feet of a water body we have installed in between the center, which is again a sort of an experience for the customers. And while we do the experience, we work on technology as well. We are inclined towards incorporating digitalization into the role of giving a different sort of experience to not only the customers but also to the overall escalation of the center. So like just to quote an example, we have wrapped around a mall facade with a digital screen, which not only showcases the activities of the mall, but it also showcases the number of brands which we have on board, or the brand mix which we are coming up, or some limited editions which we are launching in the center. So that's a technology-driven thing. Plus, we are also under process of developing mobile applications. We are developing loyalty applications for the ease and the convenience of the store.
And with AI and VR making its advent into technology, like what would you say that Osprey is doing in order to inculcate the same in their own experiential journey?
Firstly, I wish I could enjoy the luxury of space what Ankit has at the, at the airport, but we are at the mercy of a landlord, the airport operator. Having said that, AI is, we are still somewhere behind when it comes to AI and technology adoption. But again, as a first mover advantage, there is a concept which is called as pre-order. I'm sure people who go through Mumbai would have used it. So you come onto a store, you book for your products to pick up when you come back from the arrival. So that was somewhere around 5% of our business. But there was a lack of awareness amongst our flyers. So we went the digital way. And we started a super app where we sell all our duty-free products online. What that happened is there was a lot of awareness created, because if anyone was looking out for flight booking or for booking an Uber or car to the airport, or any touch point, or booking a pranam or meet or greet services, we were right there in their face telling, why don't you pre-order to enjoy 10 additional 15% discount. And Indians love discounts. So what happened was this pre-order, online pre-order business has grown to 25% to 30% of our offline business, which anywhere in the world is trending around 5%. So this is how we are using digitization. And we use something known as a dynamic promotion engine on floor. So for example, my friend Ankit comes onto the floor in departure and he scans a QR code. And we just ask him, please put in your name and some detail. We go back and fetch his historical record and past purchase, and we throw up a very customizable offer for him based on his past behavior. And that has really increased our needle in the departure and arrival business by, say, 2%. It has just started, but I think in the long run, it's all about personalized offers. So, and then we know he scanned the QR code. If he's in the departure store, we would know that in 10 minutes he would reach one of our fashion stores. So what we're going to do, we're going to send him a message again. Hey, there's a pre-owned Rolex available for you at a 20% discount. Why don't you use your Access card? You'll get another 15% discount and take away, a piece for your maybe wife or your girlfriend. So this is the thing that we are trying to innovate through AI.
Perfect. That sounds very interesting. And moving on to my final question. So what do you think, in your opinion, is the future of experiential retail? This is a question for both of you.
So again, Ritra, I would want to break it into two halves. The future of experiential retail is totally in the game now, because it's not only the shopping of the customer, it's not only the brand mix in the center, but it's more of a unique experience which you are giving to each customer, I think so. Looking into the consideration of unique experience and the experiential stores and the retail, I feel that there are multiple factors which play a vital role in this. It's not just one. So we are focusing from two perspectives into it. One from architectural perspective, we are building future retail spaces. While I say future retail spaces, we are getting world's prominent architectural designing company on board like Binoy. Binoy are the guys behind Ferrari World or a Shanghai airport. So we are building a kind of a future retail spaces which will create a different experience for all the customers. They will do some out-of-the-box landscaping. We will have some waterfronts. We will have some hanging pods, restaurants. They will be hanging restaurants inside the centers. We will have some huge water bodies in and around. So that's one from the architectural point of view, which gives an experiential retail, factor to the customers coming in. Now, when I come to the retail offering and the retail experiential thing to the customers, I feel while we add a lot of top brands to the center, our inclination, we as Elan, we are more inclined towards adding D2C brands to have a freshness and a kind of experiential retail. Why? Because these are the brands which customers are not experiencing in an offline format. These are the brands which are predominantly sold online, and they have a massive demand in the customers, but customers are lacking the experience of the look and feel. And India is all about look and feel. Everyone wants to touch the material, everyone wants to feel the store, feel the brand, and then go for it. So we are inclined towards adding these D2C brands, such as Snitch has come up very well. We have Sold Store, which has a huge demand. We have Zook, etc. So all these D2C brands will 100% have a different experience for the customers and the reason to come to Elan malls.
Perfect. And what is your opinion, Amit?
So I think we have been doing quite a bit to innovate on the experiential front with the limited space and the statutory compliances that we have to follow, being in a high security zone area, which is the airport. But we believe, like Ankit said, it's all about experience and customization and personalization. And we started a small project which is called hydration. So what we did in Arrival was, when you're landing into Mumbai airport, of course, if you're lucky, you don't have to hover around at the Mumbai airport, but give or take 2 hours before you're landing, the services stop, there's no liquid, there's no water given. And then plus you have the amazing experience at the immigrations when you land. And there's give or take, it's about 3 hours when you reach and we're really dehydrated and thirsty. So what we did is called it like something like a project hydration, where we had our flow staff holding simple water bottles like that you see at the table and telling us, hope your flight was good, are you thirsty, and you giving them water, and then you start engaging with them. And that act of just well-being for the flyers, goes a long way in turning into sales. However, that is not an intent. But when you show that concern for a flyer, it automatically translates into a positive outcome, like how they say in karma, what goes around comes around. So Project Hydration is something which we started, which is doing really well. And we are looking at developing more concept stores. For example, we have a watch store called Meridium. It's got all the high-end watches like the Frank Muller, Patek Philippe, your pre-owned Rolex that I started. And I think the Indian consumer is really crazy about electronics, particularly your Apple products. So we started this store called Technospree, which sells Apple products, travel accessories, Samsung speakers, Bose speakers, and all this. And there has been a huge growth year on year in that. So I think there's always a learning. It's always going to be evolving. And we learn from our flyers and consumers.
Perfect. Thank you so much for such a wonderful session. We will be taking all questions offline since we're running a little short on time. Thank you so much for joining us for this
Thank you for the
session.
session.
Thank you, Aritra. Thank you so much.
Thank you.